have on Unregulated Leadership. This is a podcast that William James College, in partnership with the Lionheart International, with Dr. Douglas, are promoting. So after we finish this conversation, there are some flyers on the table. If you want to do any internship again or a new one, just do it. Dr. Douglas is a very, very great leader, and I'm so pleased to work with her. So you can see, oh, she's working me out. This is my third section. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm still I'm still doing it. Now today, Dr. When I was there, I want to take time. Yeah, when I was fired, I'm sorry, when I was fired. Well, I want to take time to introduce him because he's part of the Boston community. He's not a familiar with us, but I think sometimes might be because I'm seeing that you did your medical school in 1983.
Yes.
In Haiti, at the State University of Haiti. That I don't know where is that right now. I don't know. So he came here after that and he married and with two daughters, and he went to study at Cambridge College. I think you are very familiar. I'm a graduate from Cambridge College too. So yeah, it did. Yes. So he did that, and then he went to work with AFI.
Yes.
AFI stands for Haitian American Public Health Initiative. I did a practicum with AFI with Dr. Prudent too.
Yeah.
So he worked as a program director and family support with mentally challenged children. He worked from 1998 to 2021. And after that, he transferred to do a fellowship. You did a fellowship at Boston Children's Hospital in leadership from 2006 to 2007 for a year. And you continue serving this community as a health educator since now. So we invited you, personally, I invited you because since I've been in Boston as a new immigrant, I know this man. We were part of the same church. He welcomed us as a family. And the thing that inspired me about Dr. Raphael is because he's always have a smile and he's a man of service.
Yes.
He's a great leader. He's always there for you. He's always calm and never too busy for you. So I learned that from you, and I'm watching you and I'm learning from you. You're never busy. You're never busy for no one. Always serving. And we have the opportunity to just have you today to discuss a little bit about like Asian in leadership and then their journey. I know we have many. We have some that are not Asian, but come on, feel free to come in the conversation because actually our country, Haiti, is going through a lot of turmoil right now. So we need all your feedback, okay? As future leaders, you never know. I may find you 5 years from now in Haiti. You never know. So thank you, Dr. Raphael. I don't know if I said anything correctly, so we can start the conversation. So tell us a little bit for people who do not know you, besides the credentials that we introduced. Tell us a little bit about you as a man, as a leader, as a person serving the community.
Yes. So I would like to say thank you for inviting me, and I would like to welcome you at this debate.
Yes.
And so for me, I think I grew up in a very humble family where with 8 children. And as I was growing up, my father was in church, and my mother was doing stuff like selling stuff to survive. So I found a mother that was struggling to live. And at some point, she had to leave
The business.
the city, the town we were living, to come to Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince is the capital, where everybody was looking for surviving. That's where you go and to survive. So we went there, and I ended up finishing my secondary school. And then after that, I needed to go to medical school there. And then after that, this is 1983, I was graduated in 1983, and after that, I just left. I just left. So I think basically what I learned while I was growing up I felt like learning
Mhm.
and education, those two things, you can, education can be a part of your life to overcome many obstacles, among them poverty.
Yeah.
And so, because I was able to life, I spent most of my life studying, so I was able to continue my education here. And coming here, I was in a very difficult life. The reason why, because first of all, you don't have a language. Secondly, you need a job. And thirdly, you need to pursue your education. So if you don't have the language and you need a job, and you also need a family, so it is very difficult to continue your education. So it was a struggle for me to continue my education because I became married and have children. And in the meantime, I have to work to replace me. So, and I ended up learning now about my community because I was not the only one in that situation. I had other fellows, doctors, who are in the same situation. So
Don't give them too much because we need to pause a little bit.
okay,
It's a lot because
yes,
what are you describing? It's
yeah,
really like about the migration journey.
exactly.
It's like you're coming from humble beginning.
Yes, exactly.
And then did you expect to come here?
I didn't expect to come here. My dream was to stay my way to the world, my community. But I had to come here.
You have to come here?
I had to come
If you could tell us why do you think you have to leave your country and to come here?
We talk about the poverty stuff,
Mhm.
not only the poverty stuff, but also there is also the challenge facing as a minority.
Minority.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because there are two classes, in the EU. You have the bourgeoisie,
Mhm.
and you also have the mass.
So I
And
heard that.
it's like I was in the mass.
Yeah.
So,
Even if your father was a judge.
even though my father was a judge.
Yeah.
So I was probably struggling to, and go up in finishing my school. And after finishing my school, it was very difficult for me to really set up a clinic.
Yeah.
And I felt like the only way I can survive is to find other opportunities.
So if I can hear you clearly, so you were in that family that provide support for you.
Yes.
You completed your medical school.
Yes.
And then here you are
Yes.
having to travel just for economic problem.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about your journey here, like the steps that you take to come here, establishing. You said you were struggling, but at least I find out if I look at like your biography, you were able to go to school anyway.
Yes.
So how did you start? How did you manage that to be a family man and in the same time students?
Yeah, this is very difficult. I do have a friend. Friendship is very important. Very important here. And for the migrants, for example, right now, that's what I'm trying to support. Those migrants.
Wow.
I feel like if you have somebody to support you, to give you the drive to survive, to find a job, it's really, really hard. So I got a friend who helped me with going to Cambridge College, and this is how I have the courage to go to school and also deal with my family life.
So it seems that friendship, the support is very important.
Yes.
Without support, it
Yeah.
will be so much
More difficult.
challenge. Thank you so much. Just two things that I appreciate about you. I know you are a person of integrity
Yes.
and you have great ethics. So you finish your school, you were able to just navigate Cambridge College. Now you are in the state of working
Yes.
and then serving your community.
Yes.
Or did that as a leader, now you're establishing your career. So how was the beginning for you so we can inspire other emerging leaders that are there? How was that for you as really to implement yourself, just trying to climb the ladder one by one?
I think one thing I would emphasize is the fact that this is something I didn't tell you.
Mhm.
Not beside friendship, that a guy also find a musician, Dr. Buddha,
Mhm.
who is also embracing us as doctors to help us navigate the system.
Mhm.
So I benefited from that, and in the way I benefited from it, I started doing education in the churches. In the churches in Boston.
You start somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I
You
started.
start somewhere.
And because I was making myself available to people,
Mhm.
and then I finally I've been able to continue my struggle until I can establish myself. So I was thinking that friendship, community support, the way you interact with people makes you feel better about yourself and gives you the energy to continue to survive.
This is interesting. So you said you didn't wait for having a position. You just started to serve.
Yes,
And that's what you're learning,
yes,
the leadership.
exactly. And that's why I've been recognized now, or the Doctorate, because people now know me, and to the service I was providing, to the education I was doing. And now I didn't know I was a leader. I didn't know that I was a leader. I just knew that I was going providing services to the people. I was helping anybody that I could find. And I spent now more than 20 years working with people who are mentally challenged. This is where I learned my leadership role, because I started to get introduced to different and develop different networks with the development of services, where I had the opportunity to become a program director for people with disabilities. And through that, I've been able to establish myself with different organizations, and I was able to develop that program where after 20 years, I had to leave there because now I'm retired. And but what I learned, even though I left the program, most of the clients still are looking for me. So I said, I don't know why. And I believe that in leadership, it's important to establish trust.
Relationship.
Trust is the first thing, especially for Asians. Asians don't trust everybody.
We just said that.
They don't trust everybody. So,
Business.
exactly. So, in order for you now to get that trust, you have to be able to be compassionate. You have to be ready to serve. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be able to respect people and make people feel you are like them. You are approachable. So it's like, for example, at I feel like if something had to be done, I don't need the position because I said I'm a program director, and if the floor needs to get dusted, I will do it.
Wow.
And to me, this is part of becoming a leader, because people will see you, as somebody they can rely on.
Yeah.
And I've been doing any kind of stuff that I can do just to make sure that things are really right.
Yeah, it's a transition because for the people that don't know our culture, being a physician, to just put my suit down and then to go on the floor, that's disrespectful. How can people do that? But here people can do it because it's America. So how did you manage to just have that shift, that mindset? That shift, your mindset changes to do that, right? Because you were like, you graduated from the University of Medical School of Haiti. Yes.
The shift comes with the fact that here, the American culture teach me that.
Taught you that.
Yeah, exactly, taught me that. So because I feel now and I started to understand that, having a profession is one thing, but being able to be yourself and respect people and respect yourself, the way that you ever can do it, I like it. It was a positive network, and I said, let me do it. And that's how my leadership comes. Yes.
So it seems that being a leader requires a lot of work, self-reflection, and a lot of adjustment.
Yes.
So it's not that, I cannot show up and I'm a leader. That's not happening.
Exactly.
And when we need to come from there, we need to come from someplace.
Yes.
Is it that we have to wait for a job or to wait for a position, or we can start saying that, okay, what can I do to serve my community?
Exactly.
What can I do to serve my environment? That's where leadership comes from.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for explaining what is that? What does that mean to be a role model?
Role model for a leader. I believe that leadership, you start with inspiration. You need to be able to inspire people. And that's role model. Like they see you acting, they see you behaving, they see you doing stuff with them. People started to trust you, people started to feel good to be with you. And that way, that will inspire people to trust, to give you that trust. And once you get that trust, you will be able now to build community. Because to me, community doesn't come from a vacuum. Doesn't come from a vacuum.
Tell us more.
Community start with, to me, with service. Community start with service. And by interacting with people, people learn, started to learn from you. And when they started to learn from you, you also started to learn from them. So it is a continual process.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, like a leader. A lot of people take leadership as to be just, I'm here, I'm coming, you do this or you do that. People will not respect you because people will be afraid to come to you. And especially in any leader, the way is if you are working as for the state government, it's very hard to appoint those people because, if you're in a high position, nobody will never know you because you put yourself in a position so high.
You're not approachable.
So you're not approachable. So to me, the unregulated leadership starts with somebody who can establish trust, who can be in the community with the people and provide inspiration to the people. And then in return, from what you are learning with the people, you establish that relationship that will help you to empower them. You cannot empower somebody if that person doesn't see who you represent, who you are, the trust they need to believe in you. If they don't have that trust and you don't work with them, there is no real leadership.
You need to build trust.
Yeah, the trust is a factor. And I think in the situation here, it's like since we've been independent, I believe that trust was broken. We assassinated those leaders who gave us the independence. We just assassinated them. For some reason, we didn't trust them, and they didn't teach you to trust them too. And when there is no trust, and there is no way the community will respond.
There's no relationship.
There's no relationship. So they will never, respect what you do as a leader. And you see what the result. This is the result today, because the prime minister never really embraced the community, never respond to the violence, never did anything. So people do not trust that leader, and then get with their thing. So it's not with trust, it's that with a relationship from the bottom up. From the bottom up, not from up down, from the bottom up. And to me, the way that I build a leadership, you have to be part of that community. When that community develop that trust with you, then you become one of them. And when they feel like you are one of them, not somebody who's above them,
They open up.
they open up, and then now we can build fortune, we can do a lot of work together, because it's a teamwork now. It's a teamwork. It's not somebody at a position and then you are down there.
Yeah. So I heard that I heard that there's preparation. We have to prepare to be a leader.
Yes.
We have to serve.
Yes.
We will sacrifice certainly.
Yes.
And then we have to build trust.
Yes.
The trust is coming back again.
Yes.
And it's a conversation. I reminded you, it's a conversation too.
Yes.
It's not just like, a lecture.
Yes.
It's a conversation. And I know there are some people that are not too familiar with AD. I welcome them, and then feel free to jump in, be curious and ask questions. That's the time, because Dr. Raphael is with us. Yes, and you have a question?
No, I just wanted to say that what I'm hearing from you, Dr. Raphael, is something that in clinical psychology that we learn is that when you're dealing with a client and maybe the new client, you have to go down where they are.
Yes,
You
exactly.
learn, and empathize and be exactly where they are in order to bring them to where they want them to be.
Exactly.
So that's exactly the same concept
Same
that
concept.
we learn here at
Yes.
Doctorate.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's another question? We're gonna get animated. I'm gonna animate you. Quiet. So they are listening, they are listening because they're trying to learn about you. Welcome, take a seat.
Oh, no,
Take a
it's not
seat.
empathy.
Come, no, this is the gathering. Come on in, take a seat. This is, Dr. Oh, we got the big chair. I like that. This is Dr. Raphael Border. Thank you, welcome for coming. Thank you so much for spreading your border. Yeah, so we are diving into more about like leadership. As I said, it's like Asian leadership, and many of us, not only Asian, but it's like emerging leaders, I would say, right? So, what would you advise emerging leaders, particularly us as Asian leaders, future leaders, to navigate an unfamiliar system here? We are not born here. As you refer to your past.
Yes.
Almost all of us has a past. I'm not sure if Caitlin was born here. Or my daughter, she came here 2 years. She was 2 years now. She's still, I think she's American now. I call her Asian. Anyway, so so how would you advise us, doing this work? Okay, because we are navigating an unfamiliar, exactly. The language, we have accents, we have a different way of approaching people. So how do you think that we can navigate the system when we think about like different culture, different language, different heritage? Tell us more a little bit.
Okay, if I want to mention this, I would go back to my family.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
They grew up here.
Mm-hmm.
They're part of the American culture.
Yes.
I think for me, my experience was I never really feel strange with my daughter, even though she would be wearing stuff that I would never wear.
Okay.
And even though she will, most of her friends will not be my friends. But I respect the diversity now. I did respect her. I did respect her because I just have to accept her culture. I just have to accept her ideas. And the way we interact positively, because I'm not there to judge the way she thinks. Actually, I'm there to learn from her.
It's a relationship.
It's a relationship. The same thing again. It's the relationship that you build with the person. So from there, you will feel that you stay yourself in the way you see things, and she stays herself the way she sees things. Now, through that conversation, you will be able, it's a learning. You're going to learn from.
Learning process.
Exactly. You're going to learn from her. And she's also going to be learning also from you. So, I think, so to really build diversity, so the first thing is respect. You have to respect who the person is, a culture, and the person also needs to respect who you are as a culture. And when there is that respect, then there can be conversation. There can be conversation. So if without that respect, we cannot be living. So I think the way I accept everybody is respect.
How does leader build respect? How does a leader build respect?
Okay. Respect is to me to understand that we are different. We are different. We're not the same. And we'll never be the same. So when you know that, you know, that gentleman is different from me, and I'm different from him, and he knows that we are different, I respect him, he respects me, and I will be able to have a conversation to talk about, you know, the kind of food that he eats, the kind of food that I eat. And then through that conversation, you will be able to go a long way.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
But hearing you talking about, I feel like, you know, you're another Asian parents. Because we know Asian parents,
Yes.
we know how judgmental they are,
It's,
we know how pushy they are,
Exactly.
we know how demanding they
Exactly.
are. Sometimes they don't even hear. Now we're talking about like emerging leaders. So we are in a position to say, okay, we can decide, we can do as you do. Okay. And then is it really, do you see any struggles there?
yes, there's a big struggle. Because, and that's where education comes from. We need to educate those parents who accept, you know, the differences, accept differences. When you start doing that, you are able to show respect again, and from there, you will be able to navigate with your with the system, with the people, because you always know that there will be differences. The problem we have as Asians, we don't want to allow ourselves to be open to differences. The way you know, the parents, the Asian parents will tell you, you know, this is what I want you to do.
And that's it.
And that's it. If you don't do it the way I told you, they don't allow you, you know, they don't allow you to look at somebody in the eyes. The child is supposed to be like a little slave, I would say. I cannot open my eyes to look at you. I don't have the ability to ask questions. I don't have the ability to say no. So that challenge creates a struggle between the child and the parent. And that's
It's a struggle. As you, because you are still doing the networking with the community, because working as a health, I think, director, educator in this, and then coming with like a place that you have in a relationship with this community.
Yes.
So how do you think education, what role do you think education can play in that community when we think about like leadership?
I would like my brother to get it now because he's also very interested in leadership stuff. So would you get it now?
I can be where it's
One second. Let him introduce himself. Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure,
Yes, thank
Sure.
you.
my name is Ronnie Raphael.
Mhm.
I don't know how I'm related to this guy. I am a former educator within the Boston Public Schools, and I certainly can relate to what he was saying earlier about relationship between parents and their children. I myself wanted to write a book about bridging the gap, the cultural gap. Because when parents come here, they think that they can educate their children in the same vein or in the same manner that they used to back in Haiti. This is a different society, this is a different culture. And so I think that there's a gap that needs to be bridged. And one of the things that I wanted to address in that book is that if you see your child wearing his pants below the
waist.
the equator line, you must, before you lash out on him, you must ask him, why are you behaving like that? You the sons of emperors or kings, because that's where we come from in our tradition. The people who liberated us from slavery,
Yes.
they were kings and emperors. And as an emperor, as a dignified person, you want to behave yourself in a manner that is very dignified, right? So now the reason that the children, when they get here, they behave a certain way is because their peers, they see their peers behave in a certain way that command respect. If you wear your pants below the equator line, it's like you're a thug. You can thug. So the parents don't understand that, and they will say to the children, hey, back home, we don't allow children to wear their pants like that. And so there's a gap. The parents do not understand that if the child doesn't wear his pants like this, he's gonna get
Bullied.
bullied, thank you, or closed down after class. So there's a gap that needs to be bridged, and I think that my brother is correct on that.
Yes, thank you. I think you had a question.
Yes, I do have a question. I'm just trying to see how I phrase the question, but what I observed though, within different cultures, I mean, what's your name again?
Dr. Raphael.
Raphael, okay. You had mentioned something about, in the Asian culture where eye contact between parent and child, or child, given the parent eye contact, it's seen as disrespectful, right? And then you transition to the American culture, right? And it's seen as, okay.
Yes.
It's necessary.
Wait, but why is it that as a culture, we feel the need to adapt to the American culture? Why is it that we're trying to separate ourselves from our own
That's a
culture?
good question.
Why can't the Americans or the people who are not from our culture try to adapt to our culture? And this is where, if we're trying to constantly adapt to other people's culture, then where's the inclusivity, right?
Wow.
It more feels like exclusivity because we are taken away from who we are. We're being camouflaged, right? And why do we need to camouflage? Why do we need to drop our accent, drop the eye contact, drop the this, drop the that?
Wow.
If you notice, when people go to these countries, the Caribbean countries, Haiti, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Dominica, I notice in the hotels, they are always modifying the food to the American way, to the European way, right? We don't use the real spices when we're cooking foods in the hotels. We don't use the real spices. We're not making, people want authenticity, right?
Yeah.
And when a person, oh, I tried Jamaican food, it's amazing. I said, where did you try it? And they said, oh, just around the corner. And I go around the corner, I'm like, this is not Jamaican. I'm sorry, honey, you're not eating Jamaican. And then you send it to your country, your island, sorry. And you go there and they're like, and they try it and you're like, oh my God, you go there too and you realize everything has changed. Everybody's trying to adapt to the American, the European way. In order for us to keep our culture alive, We need to stop adapting to other people's culture and be ourselves and be
Wow.
us.
Yeah. That's a great point.
That's a good.
That's what you are.
And then she after my mother.
Yeah, okay, this is a good thing. You said a great stuff. I went to a program, a training one day, and this is a Black American talking. And he was talking exactly the way you are talking now. And he said, I don't understand this country. The more they talk about diversity, the more conformity they ask for.
Yes.
The more conformity they ask.
Mhm.
So then where's the diversity then?
I feel like there's Asian.
And I completely agree with you. Now, the challenge that we are facing as Asians, in every culture, and also the same way in our own culture, I believe that we never learn to know the difference between something that is progressive, something that is positive,
Mhm.
and we tend to adopt all the negative. For example, to get our independence, we had to fight. We had to fight. Now, why have to continue to fight now? Why don't we say, let's take a pause and let's reflect
Exactly.
to understand where we come from as Asians. Okay, we find the white people because they are, dominating us. I agree. But after the fight,
You're fighting your own now.
exactly. Now the fight is your own. And now it's not, you cannot continue to do what the side was doing. Killing people, killing the white people. Now you have to be able to, among yourself, to say, what do we need now? Okay, we get the white out. Now let's reflect on the way we should think, on the way that we should act, as opposed to continue, as you said, to follow the white man. Unfortunately, that education you are talking about is never done.
And that is true. Just one more point real quick before. And I think in order for change to start, you had said something, it starts within us. I feel it needs to start within the subsets of the Black community. You have the Black Americans, you have the Black immigrants, you have and I feel like we hate ourselves more than how white people would hate us.
Thank you.
And we realize we see it in the skin bleaching, we see it in everything
Thank you.
around us, the conformity, right?
Exactly.
And I feel like we start education amongst ourselves and educating ourselves to accept who we are, to
Yes.
love who we are,
Yes.
and to realize that difference and uniqueness is beautiful as opposed to being ugly.
Yes.
Then that's where change starts. Then white people will accept it.
Yes.
They realize that we don't love each other. That's not true. You see the Caribbean countries,
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
Caribbeans don't like Jamaicans, a lot of Caribbean countries don't like Asians, right?
That's true.
But at the same time, we come to America, we want to impose things on the Americans. Oh, you guys diversity, inclusivity, when we're our own hypocrites at the end of the day, right? And I feel like if change starts with us,
Yeah. So
then
then
change can start outside.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think what you're saying is like authenticity is important,
Very.
and we need to keep our authenticity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We're gonna shift.
Yes.
We have like 10 minutes. That was. Okay. And then I would like to hear from.
Ladies first.
I'm sorry.
One thing I just wanted to address this. First and foremost, and I am a first generation Haitian American. My parents came here in the 60s, and I work right now with young people from here. Okay, and what I have found is that a lot of our parents, when my parents first came here.
Let me pause a second. By the way, we have great people here. Kathleen is doing a great job. I walked on a high. Shout out for you.
But what I wanted to say was my parents and all of the other parents, all of the other Haitian parents, including you, Mr. Raphael, Dr. Raphael, and the other Mr. Raphael, when they came here, they didn't really know this country and had to navigate it. A lot of the struggles that they went through, that was part of the survival. It was about surviving and living and being able to provide for the family that they have here and being able to survive for the family back home. Growing up here, there was a lot of cultural clash. And what was going on culturally in America didn't necessarily align with what my parents wanted. For example, not looking in the eye. Yes, when I got home, my grandmother was like, look me in the eye. When I'm talking to you, look at me when I'm talking to you. No, don't look at me. Don't look at me in the eye, because that was a sign of being bold. Okay? But when you are at school or anywhere else, as a person of color, you're being looked at as shifty and as lying if you're not looking in the eye.
Oh, you have a problem.
Oh, you have a problem. Exactly. And so that is the difference. And it's not necessarily adopting the American way. It's just about surviving and conflicting. And so and that about looking a person in the eye, you don't have to be Black. It's anybody. If you're not looking at a person in the eye, they're gonna automatically think psychologically that they're trying to hide something when you're not telling them. And so I know that other people want to talk, but I just wanted to put that out there. But in fact, that's one of the things that my job project is about. But the resiliency and the struggle. We are people that came from struggle. We came out fighting out of the fire. Therefore, struggle and resiliency and falling up and getting back up, that is just part of our DNA.
Yes.
And so, and thinking outside of the box. And that's one of the things that my parents and anybody who is a part of immigrants, in order to survive here, you have to learn to be able to think outside.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Patrick?
So I just wanted to circle back to an earlier comment. I think and I want to preface by saying I am very aware of my whiteness. So it's able to have this uncomfort in being able to selectively remove myself, but I think it is a real problem in white supremacy and white dominated culture that we in general expect other people to adapt to our way of living, to our cultural norms. And I think one of the things that you mentioned that really resonated with me that I'm really appreciating is, even with your daughter, how maybe your daughter's maybe started to adopt American culture, and you approach that from a place of genuine curiosity and a place of wanting to form connections. And I really wish that in this country that could be a little bit more bi-directional, because on that side, I think we have this expectation where like I can't connect with a person if they're not willing to adapt to my norms, my ideology, my cultural thing. So I wish if we were to be able to to what you said earlier, you ask your kid what is the cause behind this? Like opening up the door to genuine dialogue, I think is a really great starting place. And I'm hearing that in everything you're saying. So I just want to say I really appreciated that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to piggyback off of that because I was thinking something similar in terms of like, does anybody have to adopt anybody else's culture? That's what makes culture, is the difference. Why can't everybody bring who they are and we just accept everyone who they are within reason, right? I don't think anybody needs to assimilate to, we want to assimilate, but you don't need to adopt that culture, right? Because I hear her saying like, white people don't like us. I mean, it goes for always, right? And like she said, cultures don't like each other. I'm American, I'm Black American, and I was raised that people from the islands don't like us. And people come to America and they don't like American Black people here. I had a Haitian man, because I'm pretty Brooklyn. The man said to me, "Oh yeah, no, you guys are too vocal. You're not submissive enough." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know." So it's like those cultures and cultures that we have to just learn to accept the diversity within people all around. No one needs to adopt anyone's culture.
So this is the work to do, right? Because it's not happening like that. It's not gonna happen like that. Yes,
One
Eileen.
at a time.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Animated. We need animation. Eileen, go ahead.
I wanted to, I'm glad I went last, because I think, I wanted to push back on the cultural, isolation, because I think growing up, being born in Haiti, but also having navigating American culture, but I do think I come off very Americanized, but I think I have the privilege of being able to relate from both cultures.
Yeah.
I ideally get both of the best of both worlds. But I think unfortunately, a lot of times, at least from the Asian perspective, we choose to take the things to assimilate that are external and not internal. And I do think there are a lot of great things that the American culture can bring in terms of like sensitivity, in terms of the way we parent and we talk about. But instead we choose things like how we speak, how we dress, our hair, skin. And so we are choosing to conform, but in my opinion, choosing to go the wrong route.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
Something I appreciate, Eileen, when you speak Creole and English, you didn't use, you heard Asian Creole, but you were like struggling. And now I see that you're learning from well. So this is what I want to acknowledge. So it should be now curious about the culture, which is good. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, I think we're gonna wrap up with the last question, Dr. Raphael. What makes you an unregulated leader?
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back to what I was saying earlier. First of all, I said I started working with people. Remember that? Service.
Service.
I'm a serviceman.
Mhm.
And the way I become a role model, I could say, is because I'm approachable.
You're approachable.
People can trust you.
Yes.
And you talk about integrity.
Mhm.
People see that integrity in you. We talk about respect. People see that you respect them. And I said earlier that, becoming a leader and not a regulated leader, you have to be part of the community. You don't have to be in a position, a leadership position. But when you are part of the community you identify with you. The community identify with you. And the community identify with you.
Inspired.
And inspired by you. And you also get inspired from them. So there is a win-win. It's a win-win situation. And that's what I call unregulated leadership. And I like it.
Thank you so much. That's the last one.
No, I just want to say this is great. And Myrna didn't know that she was going to do all of these three sessions by herself. Because I didn't tell her that intentionally. And she did an amazing job, right? She had to set questions, but she moved with the flow of the conversation. She didn't read like it was. We had 3 different sessions about 3 different topics, and she was able to stay connected to each. She engaged the audience. She did a great job. And so as we have the podcast, it's not just about doing it's not just about doing the podcast. It's so much more, right? It's like reaching out to people, talking to people, putting yourself. She was uncomfortable, and so there were certain things as a leader that I wasn't going to tell her because that would have made her more
What did I do without Dr. Douglas and all of you here, right? So I think it's a collective work, and I really appreciate the work for you. I wish the school will continue with that podcast. I think that's very valuable because we are an academic institution, and having those discussions, those talks are very important for us. I feel like I learn a lot. It's like one semesters of working this topic, but I think I learned a lot because you said it's about trust, service, it's about connection, relationship, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much. You deserve some rest. It's
on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Okay. And then if we have interns that wants to just follow the lead of Dr. Douglas, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a good
I
night.
wanted to just